Welcome to Balanced Life with Debbie Carlin Boyle. Conversations connecting to a healthier you. The show that gives you all the latest and greatest health and wellness information to inspire you to live a life of balance and joy. Debbie Carlin Boyle is a health and nutrition coach, personal trainer, and fitness instructor who helps her clients live in balance with everything that feeds us, in addition to the food on our plate. Please welcome your host, Debbie Carlin Boyle.
Hi, welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday afternoon. I hope everybody had a fabulous Christmas. And we're coming to you just before the new year. And I have a great show for you today that's going to talk about how to kind of set some goals for the new year and stick with them when it comes to fitness. But before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, and a health and nutrition coach. And I help people find all the things that connect us to achieve balance for longevity with quality in our lives. And I work with groups, I work individually. So if you go to my website, Balanced Life by Debbie, DEBI.com, and check out all the services I have there, I would love to meet you. Just hit Let's Connect and give me your information, and I personally will get right back to you. I also am doing a giveaway for the fall and the winter months, and if you click on that, you're going to get a free PDF of a detox that is simple to use, and you feel amazing after you follow those recipes, and they're fun to keep in your little back pocket for a while. So check that out as well. I also want to tell you that I'm an interactive show and we're live. So if you want to become part of this conversation today, if you have a question or a comment, give us a call. The number here is 323-524-2599. Again, 323-524-2599. And I'm streaming live right now on my Facebook page, Balanced Life by Debbie, DEBI. And if you go there, you can write a comment or ask a question, and myself or my guest will get back to you after the show. So that way you can become part of the conversation as well, because we love when that happens. So today I have a great show for you, and it's about kind of getting ahead with the new year, and it starts with my passion for living a fit life transcends beyond the workout itself. Working out is one of the most efficient ways of achieving cardiovascular improvement, lean muscle, and maximum strength, and not to mention that it will improve your mental health, your ability to ward off disease, and give a boost to your immune system. And still, you'll be looking and feeling great in your own skin. I can unequivocally say that exercise is my drug of choice. Today, we're going to talk all about the benefits of fitness and how to start or keep it up with my guest, lifelong fitness expert, Turhan Douglas. Turhan Turbo Douglas began his career in athletics and fitness at Long Beach State as a member of the 1991 NCAA Division I National Championship team. His coaching career is paved with much success, having won 3 national championships. His accolades eventually landed him in the position of men's head volleyball coach at the University of Southern California. After his time at USC, Douglas became the strength and conditioning coach for the men's volleyball team at Cal Baptist University, winning a national title in 2009. In 2019, Turhan founded Turbofit with his partner, David Bouldry. Turbofit is a fitness app available on the App Store and Google Play, set to the soundtrack of new and emerging artists, DJs, and remixers. Turbofit brings the high-energy, go-get-it vibe of your favorite fitness studio and best-in-class trainers, anytime and at any level. So without further ado, I'm going to have you help me welcome my guest, Turhan Douglas, to the show. Hi.
Debbie, I'm so happy to be here. What an honor and a privilege it is to be with you.
Oh, I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited that you are here because your passion for fitness parallels mine. It might even be a little more enthusiastic than mine now that you've started this app, which we're totally going to get into. And that way people can work with you no matter where they're at in the world, which is so cool and so wonderful. And we met because the two of us both work at a studio in Calabasas called Dig Cycle, which is, the owners are great guys and I'm going to find out what your relationship is with them. But I live across the street. So I walked in one day and said, I'm a teacher, and I had a job just by saying that. But I want to hear all of your path to that as well. But the real part about getting started here for me is how you kind of came into, I want to know everything, where you're from, where you were born, what your education, how that led you to your athletic career, which led you to coaching at USC. Wow. And, where you sit today. I just want to hear that road, that story. So tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, well, I was born and raised in the streets of LA, and not really in the streets. I was in a suburb.
What suburb?
In an area called Windsor Hills, Ladera Heights area.
Okay.
And it's an affluent area, so I was very fortunate to be in that area. So I'm not from the streets, but So anyway, just growing up, my neighbors, Rod Anderson and different kids around the block. Back then we all played outside. Stickball, not that old. We played a form of stickball.
You were in the streets playing ball
until the street lights came on, and that's when we knew to come home. So we were always out, super active, basketball, soccer. I mean, we did it all. And so when I started off with baseball, and I played, for years until I got into high school. And all of a sudden, I discovered this sport in PE called volleyball. Well, my dad wasn't exactly happy because he was a big baseball player, could have went pro and the whole thing. And he was pretty hardcore coach and, wanted me to do well. And so when I started playing volleyball, he was just like, what are you doing? And anyway, I fell in love with the sport and I went on to win a state championship and then a national championship. And then I went into the coaching arena. And as I coached, what I discovered was I really enjoyed, I was just always so competitive. I really enjoyed working out with the guys. Yeah. And I'm just so competitive that I didn't want any of my players, no matter how old I was.
This is when you were at, now we've jumped to USC.
I'm going to USC now.
Okay. How did you get that job? I'm curious.
Oh.
Let's go back just
a little further back?
Yeah, because we jumped ahead a little bit. I'm just curious. I mean, you had to be pretty good to be offered that job of head coach at USC for volleyball.
Yeah,
so,
well, you know what? I think the key for me is just I was hungry and I was willing to do anything and everything to get to that level. So I started off my first job coaching the JV team, and my first paycheck was a bag of Doritos and a Dr. Pepper. So I did the whole season for a bag of Doritos and a Dr. Pepper. I didn't care.
Every game you got a bag of Doritos. So,
yes.
Well, okay.
And then from there I went to Pepperdine University and volunteered to do the summer camp. So I volunteered my way in, and eventually people saw that I was hungry, and I just learned from the best. Guys like Marv Dunphy, who is a gold medal winning coach, and Ken Stanley at Pierce College, who is one of the greatest coaches of all time. And I just worked my way up through the ranks, and it took years.
See, that's what I wanted to get to, because I wanted to get that scrappy, hungry, willing to do anything. To be a coach at USC takes a road, and jumped right over that hurdle without us knowing, what. And that's where the appreciation comes in. That's where people can see that if you have a passion for something and you're willing to do anything to work your way into that field. And that's exactly what you did. And that's so noble. And it's also inspiring for our audience to hear that. So,
yeah, well, thank you.
And then, so you worked your way up when you got to USC. So the Doritos and the Coke were it for how long?
I just did that I did the Coke and Doritos for 1 year, and after that, I was like, Coach, I got to have some money.
Yeah. It's your time as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually at SC, I was there for a total of 7 years. Eventually went on to developed a love for fitness there. And so I just kind of put myself under the strength and conditioning coaches over there, a guy named Char Gahagan, who was one of the coaches for the national championship, Trojans back then with the football team.
Yeah.
And went on from there, learned from a guy, my coach when I was at Long Beach State. I won a national championship there from a guy named Eric Burkhart, who actually is going to be in our app.
Oh, good.
Years later,
Okay.
I just had a 30-year
that
reunion.
reconnection.
Yeah,
I
just saw him
love
after
that.
30 years.
I love that. Okay, that's cool.
And anyway, so eventually, I'm going to get to how the app started.
Yeah.
I've
I've got all kinds of questions for you. But so you were 7 years at USC, and you had all this experience. When you were playing, I mean, so volleyball became a love for you. I'm just curious that what was it about the sport of volleyball? Because generally, very tall men, get like for the women, there aren't a lot of women who play. They try it out in high school, but if they're not on the taller side, they tend to shy away from volleyball and get into another sport if they are athletes. What kept you at volleyball, I'm wondering?
Initially it was because I was athletic. I can jump and blocked, and it just was a good feeling when someone would go up and I just go boom and block them, or go up and spike the ball down, and it just felt good. But over the years, I developed a great passion and understanding for teamwork.
Okay.
And I believe volleyball is the ultimate team sport. You can't win by yourself. You have to pass, you have to set, you have to hit. There's 3 contacts. So everyone is involved in the game. A little bit different than basketball. You can, be the star and dribble all the way the ball down and dunk it, or, football. Well, football I think is a great team sport as well. But anyway, it's a phenomenal team sport, and it teaches you so much about life. And as a coach, I appreciate that more than anything, because you're able to teach. For me, it's about character, right? So, I'm good at X's and O's. I've won my championships and things like that. But I think for me, the most rewarding thing is when kids learn how to relate to one another. They grow in character, and they learn how to be leaders.
Yeah.
And that's when my kids played sports and in college, and for me that's they're not going on and playing professional, but the biggest lessons in life, I think, can be learned in sports.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I had Nabil. So Nabil happens to be the owner of Dig Cycle, and he is also a volleyball coach, which is what I'm assuming is your connection.
Yes.
Which I'm going to find out. But, I had him on the show. And the reason why I had him on the show, it was to talk about the value and importance of team sports. And, it's girls volleyball for him. And for him, it isn't about the win, of course, and it isn't about the sport itself, but it's about the camaraderie and the growth and everything, building character, and everything that you're talking about. Nabil said too, and you're both saying the same thing, which I think is important for people to understand about team sports and from a coach's perspective.
Absolutely.
So it isn't. Yes, the win is the ultimate, trophy. It's the goal, but it isn't the reason, and that is the most important thing I think people can understand from that. And I love that you do it for that reason.
Yeah.
You also started to touch, before I made you go back, you started to touch on being in the weight room and working out and the camaraderie that you had with some of the other athletes, and how you became very passionate about that. Do you want to go back and talk about that a little bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was talking about my competitive side. I just did not want my players to be stronger than me.
Okay. That's where we were going.
So, the guys, it's a bench press and, something to brag about. But there is, something to be said about the camaraderie and guys pushing each other to get to the next level. And you know, when you set a goal, hey, I want to lift, 265 pounds. I need to get to that goal. It takes a spotter. So it takes someone to help you get to where you need to be. So there's another team aspect in that.
Yeah,
and
camaraderie.
Absolutely.
And,
You're sweating together, bleeding together, and you're getting it done.
Yeah,
so
getting it done. It's and it becomes quite, I know, being a personal trainer, it becomes quite addictive to I mean, once you start seeing the results, once you start pushing some weight, doing some movement, and seeing, Tony was a personal trainer too, so he can totally relate to this. He had a huge career. Anyway, Tony's our engineer here for everybody, and the owner of UB&Go, by the way. If you want a podcast, you should come and check it out, ubngo.com. So now that I got that plug in, but there's it becomes almost not, I don't want to say addictive. I don't like that word, but it becomes, you start to see the changes, the small changes become big changes, become maintaining, become, like you said, there's a competitive thing, especially as we age. I look and see and I'm like, okay, I'm in my 60s now. What do I have to adjust to keep at that level? What do I have to do? And of course, with the pandemic, being in the gym wasn't quite as easy, but it's there's something about it if it's a passion for you, because some people want to find their exercise other ways. But it really makes you want to, not only for yourself, but to help others find that too, that the benefits from it outweigh just about anything else. Like I was saying at the top of the show in the introduction, I mean, the physical benefits, and you're a specimen for that for sure, the mental benefits that you get, and the longevity and quality of your life just changes when you include fitness in your life. At what point did you, get into the personal training and start training other people and teaching classes, or did that come after the coaching career?
Well, actually, I as a volleyball coach, I did personal training on the side for athletes that wanted, to get to the next level.
Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, so I did that with volleyball. So I did, volleyball specific drills. Things were, explosive. We did, a little bit of powerlifting and, things that were related to the sport. And now, I do more of body sculpting and, just helping people really, like, especially now, like you said, in COVID, where people are sitting at their desk all day and their shoulders are coming forward, bringing those shoulders back. I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest issues. You can just look at people walk down the street and they're walking.
Their chin is forward. Their heads are,
Yes.
It's huge. It's from sitting.
Yeah.
And it's from not moving your body and learning. I mean, I'm always telling, especially my spin classes, because we're hunched over to do the class, roll your shoulders back. Yes. Now hold it here. Yeah. And I'm the worst. And it gets worse too, because there's bone loss as you age, and which is another huge reason why we want to push weight. And so it gets worse as you age. And because the rapidness of it happens once you get over 50 and 60, especially 70, you have to counterbalance it. Yes. You have to be much more aware, than when you were younger. Absolutely. And it is a great feeling to be able to help people achieve that, personally. I know the feeling. So
it is. It really is rewarding, yeah.
And so we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into your journey after coaching. If you're still coaching now, I'm not 100% sure. And then we're going to talk all about your app. So we're going to take a quick break from one of my sponsors, and we're going to be right back after this message. When I realized I was stuck and felt like something was preventing me from achieving my goals, and I just couldn't find my happy place, I checked out BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You will connect in a safe and private online environment that is convenient and will have you communicating in under 48 hours. BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is a professional counseling done securely online. Connect to your counselor anytime and get back a timely, thoughtful response. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions from the comfort of your own home. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. The service is available for clients worldwide with licensed professionals that specialize in everything from depression, relationships, stress, trauma, and so much more. Anything you share is confidential. Check out BetterHelp's affordable, convenient, and professional services. And because I want you to start living a happier life today, as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting my sponsor at betterhelp.com/listener. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/listener. All right, we're back. Thank you for joining us today. We're having a great conversation about fitness with my guest, Turhan Douglas. He likes to be known as Turbo, and he has a great app that we're going to get into right now called Turbofit. And if you're in the fitness world or you want to get into the fitness world, you should be listening. And if you have a question or a comment, give us a call. Area code 323-524-2599. And so we'd love to hear from you. And we have a call right now. Okay, we have our first caller. Hi, caller. Are you there? Caller, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Hi, how are
First time
you?
my baby's crying. But
Oh, no.
Hi,
Oh,
good.
thanks for calling with a crying baby. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, I
Um,
wasn't crying until now, but
Oh, of course. Of course. It's the Murphy's Law thing. So
Yes.
thank you for calling. Do you have a question for myself or for Turbo today?
For both of you, actually, I think you guys could both give me some input on what I'm wondering.
Okay, great. Ask away.
Okay, so my question is regarding like plateau or like getting stagnant in your routine and what the best thing to do is. It's really easy at the beginning, few months when you're starting to see results of your efforts to keep going. But then what do you do to like continue that when you kind of feel like you're not seeing results or what you're doing every day is not the same thing? Like, do you do something drastic with your diet, or do you have to change up your routine, or do you just kind of like push through? Because I feel like that's when I fall off with my fitness.
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm so sorry. I forgot to ask your name. What's your name?
Vicky.
Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah, sure. Well, in terms of if you're trying to change your lean body mass, what has a tendency to happen if you're lifting the same weight over and over and over? Your body becomes it adjusts to it and it adapts to that weight, and then it just stops growing. If you want to change your lean body mass, you might want to try mixing things up. There's a couple principles that I can give you, and that's progressive overload. So, I would try, lifting a little bit more weight. Add 10 pounds to what you're doing. Maybe add another set or some more reps. And so, if you really want to change your body, your body needs to feel like, if we don't get stronger and we don't change, then we're going to die. So if you really want to see results, you're going to have to work really hard on your intensity. So I always say there's three components of exercise. There's frequency, duration, and intensity. So frequency is how long, or how often I should say. Duration is how long, and intensity is how hard. And I think most of us fail in the intensity part.
We get complacent,
Yeah.
and our bodies like change. They like a challenge. So to give your body a challenge, you really want to, like you said, mix it up, add the weight, change that muscle group, maybe get to the smaller muscles and then dig into the bigger muscles, and not just because if you start doing the same thing over and over again is good for maybe a few weeks, and then you're going to just change it up, give your body the kind of like a scare almost, you know, like a hit that says, oh, I've got to pay attention here. So because your body will get complacent and you're not going to see change. And that's sometimes hard to do. That's where personal trainers come in. But group fitness classes do this just great, which you and I both teach. And it's a great way to do HIIT training where you are building intensity, high intensity intervals. And you're changing it up so your body has to adapt to something new.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look up Dig Cycle in Calabasas, California.
Yeah. And, you know, I think after the first of the year, we're talking about maybe doing some, because for a while we were also doing on-demand classes. So if I'm not sure where you are in the country, but anywhere in the world, if we're on demand, you can access it. But better yet, you can also access the Turbofit app, which we're going to talk about right now. Did we answer that question for you, Vicki?
Yes, totally. This is so helpful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Now we're going to let you go to that baby. So thank you for calling in. Really appreciate it. You're helping a lot of people. That was a great question. And good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's get into it the rest of our time. I want to know, what was your frustration with other fitness apps that led you to develop Turbofit? To start, this is the tip. We're just going to start, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of the app itself.
Yeah. So, well, quickly, I'll just give you a brief history. In the beginning, it started out as a kids fitness DVD. So we were doing kids fitness DVDs for, or beginning the process of doing it. We started filming for homeschool kids. And we homeschooled my kids for years, and there was no curriculum. So I called K-12, the largest homeschool organization. I said, hey, you guys need some curriculum. And they said, sure. So we started filming, and I had a brother-in-law who was starting an app company, and he saw what I was doing. I did a little Indiegogo campaign, and he saw what I was doing, and he said, hey, you should try this fitness app thing. It's this was years ago. This is like 10 years ago. Had I started back then, I'd be on an island
Isn't it
somewhere.
funny? Yeah. Well, who knew?
Exactly.
In hindsight, yeah.
So eventually, my education as a physical educator, one of the things that we taught was, or I was taught anyway, and I believe wholeheartedly in, is, when you're in PE class, it's, you give me 10 push-ups, push-ups shouldn't be a punishment, or exercise shouldn't be thought of as a punishment. It's a privilege to be able to do it, really. It's awesome. So I developed a philosophy of finding something that you love to do, and it'll last a lifetime. So that's one of the reasons why we have such a large library of fitness, because there's something that we believe that you'll gravitate to, whether it's cycling or boxing or Pilates, so we believe to having something for everybody. And so that's, fitness for a lifetime is my thing.
Yeah, which I love that. And so tell me what Turbofit, how the app, because it's a recent launch. I know I did a little demo for you, which is how we met when you were ready to launch the app. Yeah. So when did you launch it, and what does it entail? What's in it?
Okay, so we actually, it's been in the App Store for several months, but we haven't really done a push. This is going to be part of the push, a big marketing push yet. That's coming in January.
Good.
And we do, we have some influencers and things like that. But what the app has, I think that's different than other apps. It's studio style fitness, and we were doing that, years ago, and now everybody's doing it.
Yeah,
There's
the
about 200
pandemic.
apps with that.
Yeah, that just really pushed it in.
Yeah.
You know?
So our big thing was the science behind music with exercise, and I studied that quite a bit. I talked to the guy who wrote the textbook on it, Dr. Kara Georges. I actually tried to get him to be a part of the app, and he agreed. But just between me and you, he wanted $200,000.
Whoa.
Pardon
okay.
me, which we didn't have.
No, yeah.
It's understandable.
It's when you have to go on Shark Tank or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was
Get a
the world's
sponsor.
Yes, he was the world's expert, and but I learned a ton. And it's just something instinctively that when your favorite song comes on and you're doing your workout. Like for me, it's always been Rocky is probably my favorite movie besides Star Wars. Actually, now I think about it. But Rocky, the theme to Rocky. If I'm ever down or I don't feel like finishing my workout, I don't feel like working out, I'll play the theme to Rocky.
Yeah.
And I will go on and I'll play it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that acts. So it has so many different psychological and physiological and chemical reactions in your body. It actually works as a
an accelerant.
An
accelerant. It
accelerant.
will help you, it's an antidepressant for sure.
Yeah,
like I was saying, the emotional,
Yes.
because it also kicks in a hormone, your endorphin hormone, and it, which is that I can go forever kind of,
Yes.
like the Rocky thing.
Yeah.
And that's what, I'm a high cardio girl, and I really like spin for that reason, because all of a sudden you'll kick in that endorphin and it's like a runner's high,
Yes.
that same kind of thing. And what you're saying about the music, I can relate to. Being a spin is the reason why in fitness I became a spin instructor before I became a personal trainer, because I'm a music buff.
Yeah.
So anybody that knows me, especially all my students over the years, knows what a passion I have for music, and finding the beat to the music and writing to the beat, which you got a little taste of when we were doing that demo. And sometimes I just say to my class, just close your eyes and let the music take you. That's the one kind of exercise where you're on a fixed bike, where you don't have to worry about falling, or you can actually, not in a sprint or anything high intensity, but in a seated climb, close your eyes, feel the beat, feel the music.
Yeah.
There's something so motivating, and it is actually meditative to be able to do that while you're physically doing exercise.
Yeah.
I'm so with you on that.
Yeah, and another thing, exactly what you were saying, but this is the science, and that is your brain's neurons connect to the tempo of the music, helping for repetitive motion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a coxswain, when she's yelling, row, 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 keeping
the beat
that
and the pace.
It's so important. People don't realize it, but that's what's actually happening. So in our app, it's actually kind of two apps in one. So the music that we have playing behind the fitness people in the app is separated in its own music section in the application. So we have different genres. We have hip hop and we even have country. We've got EDM. I mean, you name it. We've got every category.
You have an artist there that I happen to know.
Yes.
Mike Ultra Love. He and my daughter were an item at one point, and I started going to all his shows when he was playing some of the local clubs. Yes. And I'm a huge fan of his, and I use his music in my spin class. So, and he's one of the artists that you use, which I endorse.
Yes, he's phenomenal. To me, he's one of the most talented artists, not just, an unsigned art, just ever.
Yeah.
He's my favorite, and I love watching him perform. And
me too.
We're
Me
excited
too.
to have him.
I missed that when I know he's performing again now that clubs are open again, but during the pandemic, and I do follow him on Instagram, so I get to see and still listen to what he's working on. But I really miss being able to hear his genius, because I really think my daughter's always like, they both have moved on in their lives, and my daughter's always like, Mom, because this is the only ex-boyfriend of my kids. I sort of keep tabs on, but it's because of the music. It
Yes.
really is. I think he's very talented, and I appreciate it. So it's it's something.
Yeah.
So when people, how can people access the app? You call it, you have I know that you're talking about after the first of the year you're going to be doing some fitness challenges, and you've got some things coming up that are going to get people motivated and wanting to get involved with the app. How can they get involved?
Yeah, so what we're doing with the app, so we're always, I think really the most important thing about these fitness apps is, most of them, you have there's the videos there, whatever, and, you kind of pick whatever you want to do. And that's always kind of bothered me. And I just always felt like there's got to be a way through technology that we can connect with people. And so one of the things that we have, and I'm actually doing it right now, it's called Turbofit Live. And so on Turbofit Live, I'm doing live classes through the app. It works just like, and you did one of the first tests.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because your wife was at home watching and listening or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Saying it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah.
So through the app, they're able to watch the classes, and there's even a little comment, so they're able to comment. So it works just like Instagram Live
or Facebook Live, where you
yes,
can stream. Yeah.
Absolutely. So so coming up real soon, we're working on right now adding a nutritional component, and we actually have. Two registered dietitians that are phenomenal, and an exercise biologist, a chiropractor. And so we want to add value to people's lives,
right,
and not just, all right, here's a video and you do your thing. And
we know it's like what I was saying, and one part of my practice is living in balance, and it's more than just the fitness. The fitness is a great motivator, a great starter. It's important to keep doing it, like you said, mixing it up, but it isn't the only thing.
Yes.
So you add the value by adding all the things that come together to live healthy.
Absolutely.
And the fitness is just part of that. And it's one of my top 3 are diet, exercise, and sleep. And those 3 things, pretty much what we put in our body matters the most. Yeah. How we handle and take care and move our bodies, matter big time. Yeah. And then how we rest our body to reset it every day matters very big time too. Yeah. So those 3 things are important, and it's good that you're giving people one-stop shop where they can get that information and be able to not feel. So if they can go online, it's turbofit.com, and then you can
actually Turbofit app.
App.com.
Yeah,
okay.
app.com.
All right. Gotcha. So, and what we're going to say that again at the end of the show. We're going to take one more last break. I want to talk about a little bit getting fit for the new year, some strategies and tips that because we're both personal trainers. And then we're going to talk about how people can really get involved with this app and get on, get their 2022 goals set. Yes. We'll be right back after this last word from my sponsor. Without looking at labels, do you actually know what is in the cleaning products that you use in your home? If you haven't addressed this yet, it's likely that you are spraying toxic and dangerous chemicals in your home. 3 common ingredients that you want to avoid at all costs are ammonia, fragrance, and bleach. These ingredients and chemicals can contribute to chronic respiratory problems, allergic reactions, allergies, cancer, hormonal issues, headaches, and more. So what's the solution to a healthier, clean home for your family? Teas Organics, all-purpose cleaner, and room sprays. Tea's products are formulated with the power of an essential oil blend. Her all-purpose cleaner gives you a clean surface, shower, toilet, or simply just use it to spot clean or dust, and all without harsh chemicals. And to make it even better, Tea's Organics All-Purpose Cleaner uses 100% organic essential oils and has a sweet yet spicy herbal aroma with hints of citrus. Imagine a fresh, inviting scent and sparkling clean home that is free from toxic, potentially harmful and cancer-causing chemicals. I use these products, and I can personally attest to all of the above. And right now, enjoy a 15% discount by applying 15DEBBI, DEBI, to your order. So check out these amazing products by Tease Organics that are healthy for you and your home. We're back. If you were just listening to that ad, that's from the Green Living Guru. She developed her own products, and I actually have a show on my YouTube channel, and it's about living a toxic-free life. So look for that show. I did it over the summer, so it would be sometime, I think it was August 2021. Look for that show and listen. She has some great tips about living a toxic-free life, and then she went ahead and developed her own products to help. And I do use these products, and I swear by them. Anyhow, my guest today, we're talking all about staying fit and being fit with my guest, Turhan Douglas. But you go by, do you like to be called Turbo?
Everyone calls me Turbo.
Turbo. Okay, I'm confused on what to call you, but I know you as Turbo from when the first time I met you. Quickly, how did you meet Nabil? So, because this is how our paths crossed.
Nabil was in a volleyball class years ago. This was in the early 90s, probably 92, I think. And I was teaching one of the classes. I was the assistant men's volleyball coach. And I noticed he's a pretty good player. And I said, hey, you're pretty good. You should try out for the team. Well, he was awesome. He was better than I thought.
Oh.
So I ended up coaching him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So, yeah, I coached him, and then he was so phenomenal. Probably one of the best players, pound for pound, I've ever coached or seen. He literally could do anything and everything. And so I was like, I got to get this guy to be my assistant. And so I brought him on board as an assistant. I think I started at Pierce College, and he assisted me in my club volleyball program, and which he still has today, Santa Monica Beach Club for boys. And then he went with me to USC. He was there as my assistant for a year, and so Nabil has the Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to gold. So anything that I do, he does 10 times better. So I'm really jealous of him. I'm just kidding. No, I love him.
No, he's on the app, right?
Yeah. So we have some videos still that we're
you're perfecting and trying to get.
They're in post-production, put it that way.
Good. And I'm going to have the opportunity to work with you because we're going to do, for all those people that might be a little intimidated because they're my age or older and want a little bit of fitness and how to mix it up at an older age. We're going to be putting that together shortly, too, I hope.
Excited. No, 1,000%.
Okay, good. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm so excited.
So yay. So, to wrap things up, we have a few minutes, and I really want to, both of us being fitness experts and health enthusiasts, let's get tips and strategies for the new year, for 2021. Like, what is your number one go-to thing if someone wants to get started right now and hasn't really have a background of exercise per se, other than maybe walking? What's the number one thing you think people should start with?
Ooh, wow. That's a really good question. I think there's a lot of information out there on YouTube, and, just kind of depends. I was actually going to say it's really, great, especially, as you begin to get older, just to get out and move, walking. People love to dance. And as a matter of fact, in the app, dancing it's the number one by far.
Seen that.
And it's something, once again, when you have fun doing it, it's there we go. Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're your dancers. Yeah.
So that's a great beginning, and of course an app like Turbofit that can teach you and guide you. I mean, the one of the things that I'm really surprised about, it comes kind of natural to us because we're in this world, is we know proper technique and how to lift and how to do different things, and you'd be surprised no one really knows. So there is an education there, but there's just some really basic things. I really believe that we all know what not to eat and what to. I just think we kind of know it, but
yeah,
we don't
inherently,
do it.
yeah, we don't do it. And part of the problem, I think, is because we're being sold things that take us away from doing what's good for us. So the commercials aren't necessarily for organic fruits and vegetables to be the main part of your diet. It's mostly things like sugary things, sweets and soft drinks and, Doritos. And, I'm putting myself out there, but I feel that there's an industry that sells us junk, which in turn we buy into literally and figuratively, that makes us sick.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the first steps is working with someone or getting somewhere where you can have somebody to help you be accountable.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the diet or just about the exercise, what we were talking earlier. It's about changing a lifestyle, changing bad habits with these foods that are meant to make us become addicted to them, so we keep going back to them so they can sell us more, and then the drug companies can give us medication to help us, with our gut issues, with our foggy brain issues, and, our depression, when we can actually, with some guidance, do it on our own.
Absolutely.
One of the first things I tell, a tip that I give my clients and friends or anybody who asks and talk about on this show is to simply start hydrating. Yeah. Just start drinking water.
Yeah.
Drink half your body weight in ounces if you want to figure out where you start. Do that. Yeah. That is a mission. That is not something that's easily achievable. So you have to be mindful of it. And that's what you were saying. We know better, but we don't do better. And that's where coaches and apps and your app challenge, where people can journal and keep track of what they're doing, Apple Watches that show where your heart rate is, where your calorie burn is, because there aren't any two calories that are alike. And as you know as well as I do, abs are not made in they're sculpted in the gym, but they're made in the kitchen.
That's right.
And what you put in your diet, what you put in your body and your diet is, the most telling thing, and is going to help you see the results and feel the results that you want.
And I think that's such a good point about water and just keeping it starting. There's a saying that I think it's from the Bible. It says, "Don't despise small beginnings."
Mm-hmm.
So just starting small, just drinking more water when you first wake up. People don't know that you get dehydrated at night, and you wake up dehydrated, and just drinking 8 ounces or 16 ounces ideally, just a bottle of water in the morning makes a big, big difference. Setting some apples out where you can see it, and just that one little thing. Let's just get 1% better every day.
I love that. 1%. Small, actionable steps. I actually have a free 7-day challenge on my website, or it's on my Facebook Balanced Life page. And what it is if you opt into it, one little small actionable step a day, but you're going to keep that actionable step to the second day, and then those 2 steps go on to the third day, right? So you're adding something, one thing, 1 day at a time. The 30-day challenge is more in depth, but it's also, there's accountability. It's a 30-day challenge. It's so doable, and it's financially friendly. So it's the way we are able. It's such a good jump start to the new year, and any of your resolution goals for your body is to just do these small actionable steps. And with any questions, I'm right there for you. I can get right back to you on my private Facebook page, and once you opt into the challenge, and tell you, all the things that you may have questions about, that something's not working, you're busy, your schedule's too busy. I help you figure it out,
Excellent.
And that's what coaches and apps and accountability.
There's a saying that it takes one person to gain weight and 2 people to lose it.
Oh, I love that.
It's really true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please look Debbie up.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I love that saying. You've got two good sayings. We're winding down. We're at the end of the show. So like I do, I'm going to have you tell everybody how to access the app again, and then you're going to leave us with final words of wisdom. Okay. So how do we access the app?
So you go to on the App Store, and we're on Android as well, the Google Play Store, Turbofit app. And, look us up and click on it. It's the cost of a cup of coffee with some, whipped cream on it. That's it. We're priced really well, and I think it'll really help you.
Yeah,
you'll have
I love that. I'm so
fun.
excited to become part of it and to
Yes.
stay connected with you on that. And now, final words of wisdom that you want to leave are, we're just, we're a couple of days away from the new year. What would you like to leave the audience with?
Wow, I wasn't prepared for that.
I
There's
know,
so
I
many
throw
things.
it. I don't tell anybody about that ahead of time.
Well, I'll just go back to, starting small, just taking one step at a time. Recently, my wife, I was just going through a lot of issues. There's so many things. I'm so busy. And you begin to get frustrated and anxious. And she said one thing that just absolutely changed my life. And that was, you know what, just take it one step at a time. And eventually you're going to make it.
That's right. It's so true, and it's true with everything, whether it's finances, whether it's your to-do list or your fitness goals, your diet goals, whatever it may be, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Find somebody to help you, be accountable, and it's all doable.
That's it.
I hope that helped you guys. I implore you to go and check out Turbofit on the app, turbofitapp.com. I went there for the research for the show. It all comes up very quickly, and it makes so much sense. So really get involved with it if you can. Get the best of the best. And I'm wishing you all a very happy new year, and I will see you the second week in January and Tuesday for my next live show at 2 p.m. Pacific time. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you. And remember to go out and keep finding those conversations that connect to a healthier you. Bye, everybody.